So, as luck would have it, as I was shooting this video, I found that the footage I was shooting was a little unstable, a little bouncy, as you can see right now. Apparently I don't have the steadiest hands. So I decided I needed something to help level that out. Now, of course, there is the tried and true method of digital stabilization, and I hate it, mainly because it just, I don't know, it makes me sick. I get vertigo from it. It affects the video, and I can just tell when someone uses video stabilization techniques. Optical are fine, but I do not have a camera that is equipped with fine optical stabilization measures. So I decided to build this little contraption in the middle of everything. What is it? Well, it's pretty crudely put together. It's too cold outside to paint, so I'm not even going to bother doing that right now, but I'm going to show you what it is. And there it is. It attaches to an old microphone stand. It sits on there. It gives me the ability to pan. I can't tilt with it, of course, but I can also lift it off, and I'm back to a standard mic stand. Now, why would I do this as opposed to simply using a tripod? Well, tripods are great, but sometimes tripods take up too much room, and that's where a setup like this works really well. You can set it, and in fact, when I'm done with it, I can sit it in the corner, and it doesn't really take up that much real estate. This is basically it. It's essentially 6 components. You have the initial mic stand, check. You have this little piece. This is a plumbing fitting. It actually is an adapter. It would be used if you were using a 1/2-inch PVC plumbing. You would glue it into that end, and then that would allow you to then screw it onto galvanized pipe or whatever threaded pipe you need it to. Then it's got a little gasket in there. For my purposes, this fits perfectly over the microphone stand threaded part. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say it's like a 3/8 is what size it is. I didn't have anything that would screw onto it. And even if I did have the right size, it's probably some odd thread that just standard pipe stuff won't fit on. It may, you'd have to look it up online. I was just trying to go with what I had in my shop, and this was it. So this fits over it, and actually that little plastic washer in there is key, because when you attach that or slip it onto the top of the stand, that kind of grips it a little bit. So it doesn't just fall off, it allows it to fit in there. It works out really well. Now, the second part, or the next piece to this is this. And this is just a simple piece of pipe, short pipe, 2 inches long. You could use shorter. In fact, I wanted shorter, but this is all I had. I had longer, but no, that didn't work. This has obviously been used at some point. It's rusted on the inside, and still has the tape on the outside. But again, I can't paint right now, so I'm just working to get it done. That screws into there. Boom. Fourth piece. Next piece. Pipe flange. 4 flange. I don't know. It has many different names. But basically, it allows you to attach this to something, a desk, a floor, a wall, a ceiling, and then screw in your pipe there. You don't have a hole to go through or anything, so you don't have to worry about that. And then this piece is, of course, the wood, which again was just some scrap I had. Drilled out the holes for the flange fitting, and then countersunk them so everything was nice and flush, and attached them. Again, pretty straightforward. The final piece of the puzzle was, of course, the Velcro. Just some generic Velcro. You buy, you stick it on there, it works. What I like about it is, if I don't like it, I can take it off and replace it. It's not expensive, and it usually comes off pretty cleanly. Since I haven't painted this, I don't know if it will. And when I decide to actually go and finish this piece, I may have some difficulties there, so I may have to end up replacing this piece of wood. Again, it was a piece of scrap, so it doesn't really matter. And we're back together. As I said before, this just fits right over the top of this. Take it off. Fits on there. And actually, it's pretty snug. But it does allow you to turn it, which is nice. So you can do some smooth panning. Again, tilting, not something you're going to be doing with this. You're going to go on a tripod. But for up here, this was ideal. It's an old stand, actually. Weighted nicely at the bottom. Works out really well. So yeah. That's the, I don't know what you want to call it. camera stand. And we'll go with that. If I ever do finish painting it, make it look a little prettier, I may throw another video up to show that, the finished product. But that's what it is.